International Week on the international football scene. Of course, the English Premier League is back this week, and of course, with it, the potential to see some amazing assists in the English Premier League. Now, as you know, ABSA are financial partners of the English Premier League, and ABSA would like to give you the assist of a lifetime, guys, in the Shinda Assist Yamita with ABSA. Now, what you need to do as an ABSA customer is make sure you deposit money into your ABSA account as many times as you want between now and the 28th of December. Now, you have the potential of having your deposit doubled up to 100,000 shillings, or you could win 1,000,000 shillings every single month with ABSA. So make sure you participate in the campaign. If you want more details, text the word assist to 22268. The word assist to 22268. That's Africanacity. That is ABSA. Now today on Radull Live, guys, I am excited because these are ladies I respect so much, simply because they participate in a sport I cannot play because I'm a coward. Let me introduce first the lady on my right, Philadelphia Orlando, the captain of Kenya Lionesses. And for those of you who ask, it's rugby. And then, of course, the team manager of the National Sevens team, Camelin Oyuayo. You're also a former captain of the national team.
Of the national team.
What? Let me start with you, Camelin, since you've had such a long and illustrious career. Tell us a bit about your background. How did you get into rugby? And then we'll come to you, Philadelphia. And then later on in the show, because I know you're the first team to qualify for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
Oh, yeah,
so we'll get into that and how hard that was, just so that people understand your spirit. Tell us about your rugby journey.
I can say I joined rugby by default because from primary school I used to do athletics, then I was into football, then I was into netball. Actually in high school I was a netball captain, and there was nothing, I never heard of anything about rugby until I think 3 or 4 years after high school. I had a friend in the neighborhood, 2 friends actually, who used to play rugby. And I used to hear them mention Lavina Sego, and I was like, oh, Lavin, one day, I guess I'll have to meet him. So that is how I joined rugby, because I went to one of their games. It was Kabeberi Sevens. They had invited over Uganda. You know that time it was only one team. It was Mwamba, and Mwamba was also the national team. So they had
because the Njeras and all of them were Mwamberians, Kina Lavin.
Yes, we had Mwangi Mothe, the former KRU chairman. He's the one who initiated women's rugby in Kenya. So when I was invited to go and watch that game at Kasarani, I was so pissed off at how Ugandans were so big and they were beating our girls. And I asked my friend, kwani ama demu wanawapiga aje? And I just felt that maybe I have something I can offer in the team. Of course, it wasn't a smooth journey. It was very tough because I also used to be very big. Very, very big.
Very big.
Yes, like
don't you have to be big
for rugby? No, you know, nowadays rugby has transitioned to be more of a mental game. What you have upstairs, not that physicality. Physicality equal, but we've transitioned from the more physicality to a mind game. Yeah, so you play a lot with your mind.
I'll come back to you and a lot more about your journey, because I'm sure that's not even the half of it. I want Philo to get into the conversation. Philo, you're the current captain of the national women's team. Tell us about how you got into rugby.
Just as Cameline said, me, I was a footballer.
If I can just tell the production team, I can see comments here that the volume is a bit low. So can you please, in fact, someone here, Raima Jaka, is saying there's no sound. Can you please fix the sound issue if there is indeed a sound issue? But yeah, continue, Philo.
Yeah, just as my team manager said, I was also a footballer. And I never thought or dreamt that I'll play rugby in any time of my life. But I was also introduced by one of the players. By then, she was the captain of the Lionesses. And she told me, you have speed, you have power. I think there's this game you can play. And at that time, actually, we were from soccer training. So she told me, like, let's go in the evening. There is training at Railway Club. And then back then, there was only, I think, one team, and that was Mwamba. So I got myself there. The first time I got myself in rugby pitch, it was this, you know, in soccer, we don't do this conditioning training. soccer is just you're conditioning yourself with ball, nothing else. So when I got there, they were going for a road work, and me, I had my boots on, like
You want to play.
me, I want to play. Me, I was not in for anything. Like I need to run. I don't know, like 14 kilometers or no. So man, she told me, you can do it. And I said, okay, let me give it a try. So it was like from railway to Arboretum, going and coming back.
Yeah,
It was actually and it was on a Wednesday. Every Wednesday it was purely road work, conditioning, nothing else. So I started running with my boots on, kwa lami, I'm getting blisters. So when I got to Arboretum now, we had a coach actually, was a Kalenjin, Sami Kimei. Sami Kimei was this big, but he was fast. He will run when he gets to Cheromo. Now he's telling everyone to sprint, swing your arms. And you know me, I'm tired. Like in soccer, I think we're just lazy. Yeah, there's
soccer, you're lazy.
Yeah, very lazy, I'll say. Rugby people are very active. So when I got there, they asked me like, how will you go back? Because I had blisters on with my studs. It was crazy. I said, I'll push, I'll run, and I'll get back to railway. But everybody thought that I will not come back. Because
any baptism of fire.
Exactly. I was not actually thinking that I can, because I haven't even touched the ball yet. Today, it was my first time. I ran like crazy. So, like in rugby, they train like thrice a week. And like football, we train daily. So it was on a Wednesday. On Thursday, we were resting. So on Friday, she came again and told me, now we have to go back. And this time round, you're going to catch that ball. You're going to see now the real thing. Me, I was not aware of what I'm going to do there. I got shocked, like, big girls are willing to grind, as in...
Because for me, when I watch rugby, I'm like, I'm afraid. First of all, I'm like this. Hey, I'm going to get hurt. You don't get afraid when you play rugby, Camille?
No, because the process of conditioning gives you confidence enough for you to take over the big girls. And actually, if you also look at the other... Okay, rugby is not all about size, because we have very tiny girls in our team, even up to 50-something kgs. And we play against ladies who are 80s and 90 kgs. So with good conditioning and good skills, we have techniques and skills.
Yeah,
that is all.
So it's not just
it's not just... You can have a big person who does not even know how to tackle. And you can have a very tiny person making very big tackles. So it's about the techniques, the skills, and also the conditioning. So the conditioning itself gives you enough confidence.
Yeah.
Of what you're doing. Let me just send a few shout outs to people who are watching. It's the beauty of being live. Award David Onyango is watching. Ochi Weda, he's landed from Pennsylvania. Every day he says a different place. Usually Mesopotamia. Mwenye John Mbiti, Stanley Mushiri. By the way, there was a volume issue, but now they're saying it has been sorted. Hilda Chepto is watching. Kennedy Wandolo, Kisumu Locked. Wow. Jose Odum, Chelsea, okay. Me and reading my Swahili is a bit... Sami Njogu, Wazito Waru.
Yes, that's
our
strength and conditioning coach.
Oh, is your strength and conditioning coach? Sami Njogu?
Yeah, that's our coach.
But the way you're saying... Because football, we never hear of a strength and conditioning coach.
But I think by now they've started introducing it to football, because it helps a lot.
Actually, it's all sports. Currently, all sports are beginning to embrace the aspect of having an SNC in the team, because he plays a very vital role.
Because when you become a professional, it's not just about the sport. It's about the whole body.
Exactly.
There's a comment here from Ochiweda. Ask the TM, Camilin, how it is to be in management from playing. How was that transition for you?
One thing I can say, because even yesterday I was somewhere and they asked me about being a team manager. I can say leadership first in me. I think leadership is something that is in me. I've been a leader all through primary school. And I've also watched both of my parents being leaders in various places. And, being a captain, and I was a vice captain in the 7th team and a captain in the 15th national team. So the transition was made easy because I was was already assuming a leadership position in the team, and I had this voice to get along well with other players, even in sorting out issues, welfare, and other personal issues. So me transitioning, I can't say it was easy. It has been a tough journey, because now you used to be a player. You're now a team manager. You know, the other players, they expect you to still behave like...
You're not our friend anymore.
You know, actually, there's a time they told me, tia mwewe tunaona siku hizi power imekuingia. You know? Because sometimes they want me to be like them. Of course, there are instances that I have to be like them, but not all the time.
You have to find a balance.
I have to find a balance, because there are decisions that I'm supposed to make as a team manager now, not as a former player or still. So even for my teammates who I used to play with, thank God some are still in the team, like the captain, I have Akina Celeste. You know, it was hard for them to even strike a balance between me being a manager and a former captain or a former player.
I see it even in the corporate world.
Yeah.
When someone is just a journalist, it's okay. When they become the editor, there's a bit of resentment.
True.
Okay, now you think you're better than us.
Exactly, that's the one.
You're the captain now. Maybe one day you'll transition there. So, how is it being captain of the side? Because it means that coming from running in your studs and having baptism of fire to now being the captain of the national sevens team, what was that like?
Well, one thing I'll say, this game is not for fainted people. You need to come out clear. You need to know what you want in life. You need to be disciplined. You need to be passionate. You need to love what you do. And I think most of all is just discipline and hard work, because nothing comes easy. So to me, it has not been easy for me being a player, managing myself like outside there, and also now becoming a leader as a captain. It's not easy. Something like you need to work with everyone. Nobody, some players will like you, some of them will dislike you. You need to embrace all that, because sometimes they'll want you to do things they feel like it's right. But now you as a leader, you need to also strike a balance, just as team manager is saying, like to understand at what point should I react, at what point should I not react. Sometimes you have to ignore everything and just be you and say, no, it's this way. It's not easy, especially leading ladies. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Sometimes come with our moods.
Yeah, in the morning and you're trying to talk to someone, okay, sana jifanya. You know, it's crazy. But now this is a team sport. You need to get that balance whereby you're also emotional as a woman, but you need to get that strength. You pray every day and say, God, give me strength to lead my team in the best way possible. And
how do you balance? Because I know women's rugby, and you need to school me a bit on women's rugby. I know there's a league, but it doesn't run throughout the year. It's not the same as what happens with the men. So you have jobs. Do you have jobs? How do you balance your job that gives you a living versus a sport where you should be professional? You should be fully professional. The sport should pay you because it's national team representation. But how do you have that? How do you make that balance?
For the Lionesses, I can say we're not yet fully professional.
Even the men are not fully professional. They all have jobs, which is unfortunate. But you guys, it's even worse.
Yeah, what we do is I have a schedule with all the players who are working. We also have someone in school, and as low as high school. I have players who are in high school. And currently, I think I have 3 who are in Form 4. And we were expecting them to clear school by end of this year. And you see now, and now Corona came. So what I normally do is I meet up with them and I tell everyone to give me their schedules. And there are days that I release them early. But I also have conditions for them that at least once a week you have to give me full training. Yeah, you have to give me full training. Tuanze na tumalize na wewe. But now again, I have to consider them, because now you see this job is what is doing so much for them, like 3/4 in their lives. So we try as much as possible to strike a balance. For the ones who are in school, especially high school, I communicate directly with the principals of the schools. I give them our schedules. They tell us what we can do, what we cannot do. So at least I have them like once or twice a week in training. Yeah, so For the ones who are working, actually, it's not been easy. You know, you have a boss who needs to pay you salary, full salary at the end of the month. And you, when people are coming to work at 8, you check in at 11 or at 10.
And training, yeah.
Yes, and mostly, the problem I've had mostly is not with the bosses, is with the co-workers, because they feel that there's some special kind
given
of
special
treatment for this kind of, for this person. Akuliza, wewe unaana pesa mara mbili, you know. It's been a tussle and hassle between co-workers, not even necessarily.
So it's a challenge. I mean, I'm sure you would want a time where rugby can actually pay your bills. Can we see that happening?
Actually,
for women's rugby.
But I'm looking forward to. Let me just face the camera, because if there is any sponsor out there who has money, who wants to see value for his or her money, I can bet on the Lionesses. This is a team that will give you value for your money. I'm looking forward to a day that I'll have ladies professionally, fully paid. We don't have to hustle for jobs. You don't have to, like, you're doing your trainings haraka because someone has to leave. You
can't even focus.
You can't even focus. And if you look at so many teams that we play with, let me start with South Africa. You see the way they play their games, the way they are good. They are in a professional setup, and currently they're being paid same as men, you see? And they're living in a camp setup that there's no excuse that I'm going to work, I'm going to us. This money that they're getting paid there is enough. I'm also looking, I'm appealing to corporates, I'm appealing even to the government. If you need to increase the allowances for the sake of Lionesses, then this is the time to do it. This is a team that will do wonders in this country. This is a team that will go to World Cups.
I know on the international rugby 7 circuit, there's no provision for women at every tournament. How many tournaments do you go for? Philo, maybe you can come in. How many tournaments do you go for in the series, in the international 7 series?
We are not in the series, actually.
So you just have invitationals. I think it's
Dubai
most of
we have Dubai.
Yes.
And normally Hong Kong is qualifiers for the RB. So mostly it's just invitational and African Cup. So we are still not yet into series, which we are still chasing. And the only way to get there, we must have sponsors, because we need to play more games, be fitter and get ready, because the teams we meet out there, they are like semi-pro. Even the teams that wants to qualify, they're still semi-pro, because I find a small team like Italy from nowhere. They have everything structured and all that. Why? Because they're in one place, they're being paid well, as in they're being sorted well. And like us now, like it's Corona, everything is...
But how has it been this year? How has it been this year? Have you received any allowances? Have you...
there was this allowance from the government.
Yeah, 10,000.
Yes, it was supposed to run for 3 months.
Yeah.
It went on for 2 months with some food stuff. Then ikanyamaza.
So they gave some players. You got the 10,000 a month for 2 months.
Yes,
yep.
for 2 months.
It was supposed to be 3 months.
It was supposed to.
What happened to the 3rd month? Ministry of Sports. No, seriously, because it was announced 3 months.
Yeah.
And of course, that was on the assumption that Corona would end and you don't move back to.
And actually, even the food stuff, it was supposed to happen like every 2 weeks. For that 3 months, every 2 weeks we get food. But I think we went only twice. Twice.
But this was planned and catered for.
Yep.
Somebody somewhere has eaten that. Somebody somewhere has eaten that.
Yeah, but I can say they tried, even with a stipend.
Not good enough.
But you see, it is not good enough.
In this country,
I was getting there, because they tried, but it is not good enough. Because if, you know, in March, everything was cancelled. In fact, the government was the first one to cancel international tournaments, international flights.
Which we had to, which we understand.
That one we understand. And now you see something that, and us, we thought that maybe kitu ni mwezi moja ama miezi mbili, then they're getting back, you know. And with this 10,000, unajua sasa umebeba mizigo zingine. Imagine someone who's an athlete, who's not fully professional, being paid allowances, then 2 months you're not getting anything, then you get 10,000. You see, the burden.
No, your rent, the budget. It's, in fact, that money is just your rent and your bills and all that.
Yes.
Then
and actually,
what's
next?
next?
I had some of my players who moved up country. They literally moved up country. They carried their things, and I was like, "What? How do we start?" And now you see, we are supposed to begin training. Now you start looking at ways on how these players now can get back from there. This is starting a new life, actually. They come back and now start it all over again.
Yeah. Have you been given any guidance on when rugby can resume? Because I know, like in football, Kenyan Premier League, I saw a statement yesterday. Players are going to be tested from Monday and Tuesday for corona, and then the league will resume. It should have resumed this weekend. They've pushed it to next weekend.
Yeah.
What's the plan for rugby? Is there any?
Yeah, what's happening? Actually, Shuja began their. We are not doing contact. It's that it's just the part of conditioning mostly. So for the Lionesses, we are having our COVID tests on Thursday next week. Then after that, we do our assessments. Then we're good to go. Though not the physical part. We're going to focus mainly on the conditioning.
So it's more or less just keeping fit.
Yeah.
Just keeping fit. Because, like World Cup draw was 2 days ago, the day before yesterday. So we are supposed to play Colombia here. We don't know when. We were supposed to play in April this year. Due to Corona, everything was cancelled. That game is pending. After that game, we were supposed to go for a repechage. Then to the World Cup. So you see, these things might catch us off guard when you still, you're weighing options, you're still waiting. So we just have to start off, because assumingly World Rugby tells us that we have that game in February.
Or in
it's
Jan.
going to be at home, by the way. Make sure you rally people to come
Oh,
and
we
watch.
must.
Yeah,
We must.
it's going to be on our
Just a
home
study.
ground. And we are Kenya, hapa home kushindwa tena inakuwaga noma. But if we are not training, you see, kushindwa tena ineza, because you cannot just sit at home. But thanks to Kenya Rugby, they've thought about it, and they've put the necessary plans in place. So we're going to get back to
Philo,
training.
what have you been doing this year? Because I'm assuming you at least train in your house. I've lost 14 kilos on this floor
14 kilos.
since March on aerobics.
Oh,
So I'm
great.
assuming you've been training by yourself, but it's not the same.
Yeah, as you know, these are team sport. So mine is not enough. I might be doing everything, maybe I've lost kgs, but remember at the end of the day, when you are a team, there is that cohesion, there is that competition. You feel like, and you have your teammates telling you, no, you still have to push on. When you're alone, you'll just work. When you get tired, you say, si lazima, let me rest. You understand? But also it's more of discipline and what you're focusing on. Like now we know our calendar might be very tight moving forward, because now we have 15s and we have 7s and we have Olympics coming up. So those are the things now we are looking at. You must keep fit. Whether I like it or not, I must be somewhere. So when we resume, I'll not just be like, I'm 20% and some of the players are maybe 70 or 80. So we've been working individually and sending also video to our technical team.
And then they give you feedback. I want us to take a quick 1 minute break. When we come back, I want to get into your Olympics experience, because that is fantastic. And then, of course, some of the challenges that have faced the Kenya Lionesses, and yet you women still continue to shine. And on that note, let me just read a few comments here from, I look of Phil. He just says, I'm watching from Kitengela. Ochiweda says, respect to them. I've seen a few people saying the same thing. Hilda Chepto, total respect to these ladies. And it's women's sport in Kenya. That you guys, I don't know what drives you. I respect it. I'll get into answering some of these questions. I can see STDS Dunga Mata. He says, ask Orlando what experience is the team drawing from Rio 2016 going into Tokyo 2021. We'll get to that after the break. And there was another question here we can be thinking about. Kindly ask, what does your typical daily diet consist of, and what does typical day's training include? So we'll get to that, and Leah Njogu just says, you ladies look awesome. She's talking about Kamali.
Leah Njogu is my teammate.
That's your player?
Yeah, that's my player.
And I came in here and we're like, okay, come in. Maybe you should have sent us a dress. Guys, we'll see you in about 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. And remember to keep sharing the link so your friends come and watch. See you after the break.
behind the greatest goals is a great assist. As the official banking partner of the Premier League, ABSA is giving you the ultimate assist so you can achieve your goals this season.
That is a cracking assist!
You're getting all the games, goals, and glory. Exclusive access to legends and players, plus game-changing banking solutions. Follow your local ABSA Facebook page for more. Get the assist from ABSA and get things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Welcome back. This is Radull Live. Of course, today we're focusing on Kenya Lionesses, yes, women in rugby. Of course, the English Premier League returns today after an international break that drove us all crazy. Yeah, and we're looking forward to some great assists in the English Premier League. And ABSA, who are financial partners of the Premier League, want to assist you to achieve your goals in the Shinda Assist Your Meter campaign with ABSA. Now, what you need to do is, as an ABSA customer, make sure you make as many deposits as possible into your personal savings account, into your business account, through M-Pesa, your salary, whatever deposit you make into your ABSA account, you stand to have that doubled every month. They're doubling money for 10 people every single month, and one person can win 1 million shillings. That is the assist that ABSA is giving you. And of course, as we enjoy the English Premier League, make sure you look out for all the great assists this weekend. By the way, there's going to be a prediction game of assists that will be on this Radull Live page, so look out for that, and you could win some original Premier League merchandise of your choice. Talking about the Premier League, which teams do you support, ladies?
Hey, I'm anti-football.
Philo, which team do you support in the English Premier
The
League?
Blues, Chelsea.
Chelsea Blues.
Yeah.
Today you're playing, I think, Newcastle, the early fixture at 3:30. Are you coming in?
I used to do Manu like 7 years
used
ago.
to?
I used to.
I don't blame you for quitting.
Hii timu ilifanya nikaumwa na kichwa. You know, there's one day I cried. I did it for 2 days.
You get emotional.
Yes, I was so emotional. That day I called it quits. I cannot support any football.
Imagine you could be an Arsenal supporter. It would be worse.
Yeah.
Let's get back to rugby. Of course, Philo Orlando is the captain of the national women's sevens team, and Cameline Oyuayo, former captain, now the TM of the national sevens team. Before the break, Philo, someone was asking about your diet. What is your daily diet like?
One, I wouldn't say that we have that proper diet, because we should have a proper diet, yes. But if you look at the life you're in, yeah, we cannot afford to get that proper diet as a team and all that.
Because it's costly to choose.
Yeah, exactly. And the sport is not paying that much. It's only that you don't eat too much. Many people assume that rugby players eat a lot. Like they must eat. Of course, everybody must eat, but you eat portion. As in, you don't just eat, and don't be too much into taking fried foods. Yeah, so you watch, being a sport person, not only in rugby, but being a sport person, you must start eating healthy. Yeah.
I think we're a bit misled by the men sevens players who are all chefs, from Collins Njera to what's the other friend of mine? Ombachi.
Yeah.
They're always cooking on their Insta stories, and I'm like, these guys eat. I guess the belief is that you burn so many calories when
you're training. So you must have that intake.
And
but again, whether they are cooking does not mean that whatever they are making, they're the one
going to eat it.
Exactly. So
us.
don't what you see.
But you know, as an athlete, you have different types of foods that you're supposed to take at different times. Like as an athlete, you're not supposed to take carbs at night, and you're not supposed to eat past 8. After training, you're supposed to take carbs and proteins, to replenish whatever you've lost in your in your workouts. Yeah, so it's just about balance. And when we talk about hizo carbs na vitu kama hizo, you can get them kwa vitu zote, mkate, rice, you see. But again, fried foods, si jaribu kuzi avoid, si try. Yeah, si try.
And it's funny because when I speak to like marathoners, they carb up. They said they carb up, but they run like 3 marathons a week.
You carb up during the day, not
at night, because you're going to sleep.
Even
you're not going to be active.
During the day,
yeah.
Not at night. If you carb up at night, tuseme wewe ni marathoner, then Eliud should be twice my size. Because at night, you know, mwili imetulia,
you're
there's
doing
no
nothing.
activity.
Yeah.
They say they run 20 kilometers for fun. So I'm like, okay, we're not on the same page. That's a question that you were asked before we went into the break. And that's all about Olympics. You are an Olympian. You're also an Olympian.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were at the 2016 Olympics. That's when sevens rugby was introduced. This time around, you're the first to qualify, the first Kenyan team to qualify for the Tokyo 2020, now 21 Olympics. What's the Olympic experience like? Let me start with Philo. Because this is the ultimate in sport.
I'll allow team manager to talk because she was also there. Then I'll say my own because
what was it like?
Because after that she decided to quit.
But then to be honest, me nilifika Rio, there was first culture shock. You know, we had never been to such a big tournament. Yani, unashtuka, you meet these big athletes. I remember there was a time we met Usain Bolt. You know, we were housemates. We
met Usain Bolt?
Yes, from the dining hall. Tulichanganyikiwa. You know, like, ameenda, tunaulizana, na huyo si ni Usain Bolt, you know.
You're not even sure.
You are not even sure. Lakini ni yeye. Everyone else is asking for a photo. Now sasa sisi tunaenda kumfuata hivi na simu, and then you just look stupid, you know. But unajua hii culture shock, these big people that in sports, these big sports personalities that you always dream of seeing. Then there's this dining hall. It was 24 hours with everything, food, Asian, African, all cuisines were there. You know, and it is 24 hours. Unaona ice cream zinapita tu. You know, you're not supposed to even to take ice cream at that time.
It's and there.
It is there. You know, yeah, it was a mixture of so many things. It was just a nice experience.
In terms of the game, Philo, because, I mean, with that culture shock you've explained, it's hard to focus on the game.
Yeah.
But how did you feel? Because this is the ultimate sporting event.
I think one, it was an honor being there, and it was something that it was a dream come true. Because one, just getting there was something that it was so exciting. We were so happy and all that. But again, going to that pitch itself was amazing and crazy at the same time. You look at the pitch; it's very big, and the teams you're meeting, man.
Actually,
very professional.
Game 1 was Kenya,
New Zealand.
We had never played
New Zealand
and
anywhere.
You know, for 2 weeks, we were just watching their videos. There's this lady Woodman. We used to watch what, you know, by the time unafika kwa hiyo pitch,
then you meet her live, like
the way she's smashing people kwa hiyo kiwanja unasema, wa, ene leo reality imecheck in. Sasa niko na huyu msichana. Yeah.
But I think also the experience there was amazing because at one point we had that self-belief that we can do better. We know we are not that much experienced, but whatever we have, we were willing to give out in that pitch. Because we could see New Zealand could thrash a team like France or Canada, maybe 40 just like us. Then we said, then we are good. So we were like giving ourselves hope, saying that we will get there, we will work hard. But the experience itself, it gave us a lot of challenge as a team. And we said, when we go back, we'll have to embrace everything that we've learned in this. There are things that we were not used to do, but like as a team, we need to sit in one place. We need to focus. There's that moment of you. So we'll see them like, you find if you have something that makes you, as in, inakuchangamsha, you remove the tension, maybe it's music. Now we see them like they separate themselves before the game, like 10 minutes. You see them listening to music. As chini, si tuko tu, and like, you know.
We have nothing to psych
Yeah,
us
we
up.
have nothing to psych us up. As in, there's that culture we watch different teams having, that when we came back from Rio, actually, we started now building our own culture as Lionesses. This is how we should work moving forward. It was amazing
I mean,
experience.
it's simple exposure because
Yep.
Yeah.
unfortunately we don't prepare our national teams for any international
Yeah.
tournament.
And we had two very big experiences in the Olympics. We had our first African actually to score a try in the Olympics.
Celestine Masinde.
Celestine Masinde. And then if you look in the top 10 big tackles in the Olympics, it's also from Kenya. So you can go and check on
That
YouTube,
gave us
the first African
the
to
morale
score
that
in
we
the
can
Olympics,
actually...
and the top 10 big tries. There's a Kenyan there from the Lionesses. So those are some of the things that we said, pia sisi kama tunaweza ingia kwa records. And you know those records are there to stay with us.
Yeah.
We will be here, people will come, they'll still be seeing those things. So we build up pole pole through the experience, more experience.
So now you've qualified for Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at least the dining room and the ice cream won't shock you this
Chini,
time.
that
The superstars won't shock you.
No.
You're better prepared this time. But is there a plan to prepare you? Internationals, friendlies?
You know, this year, before Imambo ya Corona, we had a lot of plans because Kenya Rugby Union had planned for one tournament in Malaysia. Then World Rugby had given us an invitation to Canada, actually in the HSBC series. So there we could meet also the big teams that we're going to compete
And before
with.
then, we had also the South African...
Then we had a tournament in South Africa, which also
Yeah,
followed
IRB
up as the
IRB qualifiers,
HSBC
yeah.
qualifiers. So at least we had things lined up, and we had camps organized and everything. So Corona ilikuja ikanini kila kitu, but
But
we'll
that's
still-
progress. I mean, I
yeah.
like what I'm hearing because I was a bit disappointed when you guys were preparing to go for the qualifiers in Tunisia
it was tough.
and you literally had no money.
Yes.
No money,
You almost never
no
went for the
ticket,
qualifiers.
no medical
Karen,
insurance.
I can
It
talk
was
as
crazy.
a team manager. You know, these players, when there are players there, that sometimes I try to hide things. Like, you know, even in 2017, last minute, we didn't go to Dubai because of finances. And we had everything was confirmed, but hakukuwa na pesa. So last year, going into Tunisia, we had nothing. There's no insurance. There was no flights. There was no allowances. We had no kit. All the promises that we had, no one was redeeming their pledges and their commitments to supporting the team. But thanks to NOC, you know, the
You're
National Olympic.
diplomatic.
Yeah, but the National Olympic came through for us.
Last minute and-
they gave us allowances, they gave us kit, they paid for our
Was,
insurance.
yeah.
But then they came through.
I
The last
know.
minute.
I was told
Yeah.
it was Paul Tergat and his team.
Yes.
I assume also having Humphrey Kayange there doesn't
Yes.
hurt
They
Yeah.
did a
because
fantastic
he's from
job.
rugby now in the IOC.
Yeah.
I understand your patron is the CS for sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's your patron,
She's
and,
our
Yes.
patron, yeah.
and yet she would not help you get to Tunisia.
Last time it was crazy. You know, first, the mental of the players had already been interfered with.
Yeah.
You know, ile unayumba TM tunaenda
50-50.
you're 50 and even the TM is not even sure. Number say tulieni hata mimi siko sure. You know, that one alone interfere na psychology yako na mental yako. And you know the other teams, Olympics is something that every athlete wants to go.
Yes.
So zile teams tuko tunaenda kumit huko, most of them didn't have this psychological trauma.
As we are tested there.
I love the Lionesses. This is one very strong team. Tunatafutanga tu kitu ya kutusaika hapa juu. Because despite everything, you know, we went at Big Ten, mpaka kwa finals. And when you try to explain to people that unajua before tufike hapa, this is what happened.
This is
No-
the
Nobody,
story.
yeah.
Yes.
I remember I received a call from Sylvia Kamal, the
Yeah.
CEO of the Rugby Union. She's saying, Radull, I don't know if the team is going to Tunisia at all.
Yeah.
Things are just not working.
Yeah.
That
We're
was
being
the
promised
status.
things are not being delivered. And then 2 weeks later, the girls have qualified for the Olympics.
Imagine.
And the first person to congratulate was the CS for Sports. I won't
It's
say what
amazing.
happened. I said I replied to her on Twitter. Go to Travel Seco's Twitter for a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I saw it.
I can't repeat it on national TV, but it just shows the spirit of these girls and the talent and the potential if you got the support.
Yup.
Because if that's what you achieved, unbeaten in qualifiers,
Yes.
yet you went through that stress to even get there. Imagine if you have your ticket, you have your allowance,
Everything is sorted.
Everything.
What can you do?
We can do much.
Sky's the limit.
That is why I'm calling upon corporates, anyone at our governors. You have money in the counties. You can bring it up to the
chip it
Lionesses.
in.
We will give you value for your money, by the way.
Let's read a few comments here. Max Joel says, these girls require an undiluted support. They are a glory to this nation. Someone tag the relevant persons. Max, I'll make sure they hear this. Ochiweda says, ask them, who are their role models in rugby? Who are role models in rugby?
Mine is Africa Yange.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me too, I'm Kayange. And he's my role model because I've watched him move from different levels with his rugby. And currently he's a representative of male athletes at the National Olympic Committee. He's also vying for a position in the IOC. He was a chef de mission for the under 19 Summer Olympics. He's someone
Youth
that
Olympics,
I'm envying his sports journey. It's
And
not
he's
like
captain of the men's team.
Yeah,
and he
and
was
his
captain.
humility.
Yes, and he's very humble.
He's amazing.
Yes, and he's such an amazing person. So you see, such journeys are the ones that encourage you. That I'm also aspiring to be not like him, better. Not like him.
By the way, that's what every time someone says, Radull, I want to be like you. I said, no, you can actually be
You have to
better.
be better. You have to
Aim
move
higher.
you have to aim higher in this runs. Maybe I'm supposed to be a representative at World Rugby, which Humphrey is not. So if I say I want to be like him, I'm limiting myself. So I want to be something better than him.
Just a shout out to Masira and Zachary. I think he's making fun of you. He says, I'm here watching. Just wait until 3:20 and see how the Blues will be demolished. That's Chelsea, yeah. Nick Gary says, ask Phila to mention something on life after sport. What are her future plans? Have you thought that far yet? How many more years do you have to play, do you think?
Of course, I won't play rugby forever, but I've ventured into strength and conditioning coach, and currently I'm working with the KCB volleyball team. So
wow, that's
I
nice.
want
I
to
didn't know that.
I want to be basically into sport because that is something that has given me more opportunities, more doors, and I want also to nurture young girls, and I want people to believe that sport can actually build you. Like, yes, we need to have our own papers and all that, but sport can take you to places that even your documents will never take you. So even to the young girls out there, to the young boys, the people who want to do something into sport, I'll tell them to take this career seriously because it pays and it can really bring you from grass to grace. Yeah, that to me, that is my own testimony. Sport has changed my life.
As a young girl, you probably never thought I'll be in Rio Olympics, I'll be in Tokyo Olympics,
Exactly.
I'll be playing in Dubai and in Hong Kong and traveling the world. And I like sport because it also builds character.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The physicality of
Yeah,
it. Huh?
it does.
Ochiweda says, ask them what they're doing to promote the game in the grassroots. Well, they're still playing. I don't know if you've had time for that. But as you mentioned about mentoring young girls as well.
We are into, we go to primary school because we're trying, like, on our free times, we're trying to introduce sport into different age category, which also Kenya Rugby Union is working under that. So we hope that whatever the union has started will not die. Like, we want to see more young girls coming up, doing it, because now we are in our route to exit the sport. And we won't just leave it vacant. We need to leave people, like, we need to have those stages whereby we have under 10, under 12, under 13, under 18, and also senior team. So there'll still be Lionesses. that one is for sure, and it will never die. As long as you're still alive, as long as you're playing, we are willing to build other ladies to
So
come
you guys
through.
have so much to offer. I mean, Caroline, when you stopped playing, I was like, you're still in the game, you know? It's, for me, I was like, oh, good, she's still in the game.
Yeah, and during when I have time, I go back to my club. I assist with coaching the ladies team, the Mama ladies team. So it's something that I'll keep on doing. I'll keep on doing in whichever capacity that I can. And currently, I'm also undertaking a mental health course, courtesy of the International Olympic Committee through the National Olympic Committee. So you see, it will go a long way in also assisting in rugby and also in other sports. So I'm venturing into ways in which I can fully give back or assist. Yes, I can say giving back, yeah. And I've done a lot of coaching courses, through rugby. And I was not just doing them for fun. The things that once I am not active at all, you know, there's a time that I'm not going to be the team manager anymore. So when that time comes, I want to still be useful to the sports in a different capacity.
Let me read a few comments here. Morris Kawiti says, the ladies are so honest. Oh, yes, the ladies are honest. Phyllis Follorin Minor. What? Keep the same spirit, guys. Samin Jogu. Radull, kindly help the ladies get corporate endorsements. So many lady products out there, which is so true.
True.
And corporate Kenya needs to realize that sports people like you are representative of most international brands.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, I was trying to reason out like we travel to very many countries in the world.
Yeah.
And if we have a brand in the jersey and our games are being broadcasted for the whole world, you know, that is enough marketing for any corporate to get involved with. Even the hair products, the beauty products, I believe we can, I know we can market you guys.
I know natural
we
hair
have
here.
all it takes, by the way, to market even the beauty products, the lady products we have.
Your ladies, there's so many things. There's so many things you can market. It doesn't even have. It can be fuel, you know. It can be. It can be clothes. It can be shoes. It can be and sports shoes.
Even
not necessarily.
phones. Anything,
it can be phones.
we
These
can
things.
Yeah, we
so
can.
corporates who are watching, please step up, man.
Yeah,
and the beauty doesn't hurt. Huh? The beauty doesn't hurt. I have more comments here from people that are watching. Let me just get to them. Nick Lihanga says, oh, he's just enjoying the show. Hilda Chepto, loving the conversation. Samin Jogu, who you said is one of your coaches, said, kindly ask the TM to talk on using the so-called national team fame or limelight to plan life after rugby. That has sort of been answered about using the experience you've gained for life after rugby. I think you both mentioned that. Princess Nelly was making fun of the fact that you defected from Man United. She's a hardcore Man United supporter, and she's saying, ungekuwa kwa Arsenal, what would the story be? There's one thing we didn't touch on, and that's the facilities for training. You said when you were in Rio, one of the things is you just looked at the pitch and you didn't even know where to start training. Here, things are just so different. Do you even get time to train, or you share the facilities with men as well? What happens? How does it work? Or you have to find your own time to train. If the men's team is training, you can't train, and vice versa. And what are your comments about the standards of our facilities?
We train in shifts and sometimes on different days. If we collide, sasa
we share.
Ni shift, tuna share. Tunapiga shift.
Nusu.
Half. And you know, I can say facilities.
That's a tough one.
In comparison to what you saw in
corporates, you need to come through.
That's a tough one, especially for ladies, because you know us, we're not like men. Men can change anywhere. But now being a lady, I must wear my sports bra, I must put on my bikers, and you find like we have a small changing room like this, and we're like maybe 20 players. It's a bit crazy for us. Maybe showers. I think that is most of the thing that keeping women away from sport, because
nobody has thought of women facilities.
Exactly.
You just use what has already been built.
So sometimes we even share with the men. We've shared the men's changing room because it's what is there for us.
And by the way, you know, when we speak about sponsorship, you know, most people or most corporates, they go, "Awa wanataka pesa." You know, sponsorship can come in different ways.
Yeah.
You can say like, I'm going to put up a container here or a structure specifically for
the ladies.
Gym, for the gym. Then you put up another structure, you say this is the ladies' changing room and such things. When we talk about sponsorship, it's not always
money.
that unaleta pesa.
Yeah.
There are so many things that can go a long way. Even kits, not necessarily ukuje ulete hapo pesa ya allowance. Sponsorship is a...
Just say I'm going to sponsor them with boots or socks or shorts.
Or
a
things that will cost you money.
Exactly.
Yes, or a fully equipped gym. Like I normally say, you say at Kenya Rugby, we have Alpha Fit just next to where we're training.
Yeah.
It is a fully equipped gym. Someone can just pay for the Lionesses that have paid for you for 6 months or have paid for a whole year for you guys to have your training here. So you don't have like ulete pesa, solid money for... There are these small things that count. But again, if you have enough money, we still need also that money for different things. Because we do meals after trainings, we need allowance.
You can even have a sponsor who will sponsor our breakfast or lunch after training.
You can sponsor even meals after training. So we have a lot in sponsorship, and the best way to know how you can sponsor is just visit the Kenya Rugby offices along Gong Road. So when you go there, you'll meet the best people to explain to you how you can go about it. Yeah.
A few comments here. Herbert Murunga Azizo. Radull, did you know that Kami was also a good footballer before she switched to rugby?
Yeah, that's my friend.
And then somebody replies and said, she already said that at the beginning of the show.
That's my
But
friend.
you came in late.
Yeah.
Yes, she did that. Max Joel. Oh, thank you, Max. Says, Carol, God bless you for this exposure you do to the athlete.
That is
Thank
our
you.
pastor. Let me acknowledge.
Oh, that's your pastor.
That is my pastor.
Oh, that's your
Pastor
pastor.
Max, and he's one man of God that has been walking a spiritual journey with the Lionesses.
Yeah.
He's been a father to this team. He's been walking with us the spiritual journey, and we just thank God for him.
Yeah, because all sports are as mental as they are physical.
Yeah. By the way, he has really assisted us. There were issues that were really bringing us down, but Pastor Max has really walked this journey with us, especially this time of Corona. He has also supported my ladies in different ways, not only spiritually. He has assisted financially. He has assisted with food stuffs, and
he's
Pastor,
one
we just
man who
thank God
believes
for
in
you.
us.
Yeah.
As in,
What are your dreams for Kenya Rugby? Where would you like to see it go in the next 5-10 years? And I'll ask both of you that question. Maybe I start with you, Kami.
My dreams for Kenya Rugby. One, wacha nianze na
For
Lionesses.
women's rugby.
For women's
in
rugby.
particular, yes.
For women's rugby, I do not want to take it to 10 years. This is something we've prayed about it and we are really working hard. The next qualifiers we're going to qualify for the World Series. That is the number one thing. And also these qualifiers for World Cup we want us to be the first Kenyan team to ever go to a 15th World Cup. Because yes, so
is one thing.
You see the women's rugby, and also I'm looking at women's rugby. I want to see my girls living a good life from this sport.
Rugby paying your bills.
paying their bills. Yeah, I don't want to see my girls after 10 years they have nothing to offer. I've seen stories of athletes, former athletes, from football to everything. I see their stories and my heart just breaks, you know. Because you find these people, how can you be a national team player, putting on a national team flag, then after 10 years, you're borrowing money for rent. And maybe your rent is just 5,000. This is something that really saddens my heart. So for the women's rugby, I do not want to see this in the coming future, that my girls have to borrow money.
Plan now. Fix the game now.
Yes, fix the game now. That is something that I want for the women's team. Prosperity and nothing but prosperity.
I'm with you there. Philo?
Actually, looking at the rugby for women in Kenya, my first dream is to see bigger competition, just from grassroots to clubs, whereby we'll have more women playing. I want like Kenya Rugby to have a women's league, proper women's league, like from 7s to 15s, not 10s, because we've been playing 10s, and 10s, the competition for 10s is not there for us. So my dream is to see us having the same league as men, actually even running better than men's league, because if you ask me, men runs the rugby thing in Kenya, but my dream is to see women also running the game in Kenya, and also to have games in primary school and universities and high schools, like to build the culture whereby you don't just pick someone from outside, bring the person to the national team. No, we must have that steps whereby she passed through age grade to under 18 to senior team. There's that transition.
Calculated transition.
Exactly.
It's not an accident that you play rugby.
And also, just as Caroline has said, to play at the HSBC. That is one thing that we're doing, because we've really attempted to be there. And me, I believe, the way things are right now, I believe in my team. I believe in myself also that we are in the right direction. We have the right structure now. And before I exit the Lionesses, I want to play first in the HSBC. Yeah. Leave the team there, leave a legacy. Yeah. Whereby, like, okay, these were the first people who did this, and now we leave a journey. Like, now you have people who believe that I want to be at the HSBC, not just playing, then leave it at that point. Yeah. And my dream is also to see the Lionesses being paid. Let it be professional. I don't want to be like in the next 10 years, from grace now to grass, whereby now I have nothing to show, I'm depressed, I cannot. You see, I wore that jersey, and then you say that I was a captain. You see, no, those are dreams now. You will be talking in your past. But now I want something whereby even if I sit somewhere advising young kids, they'll see the transition, in me. Exactly. So even when I go to to different parts of the country, whereby I'm saying, rugby is good, rugby is this, rugby can change your life, it can bring you see, it reflects in me. Yeah. Know that I'm going to talk there with nothing, I'm nobody. You see, I just have a name. I want to go whereby when I visit a school, I have something to show, as in, this is me.
Kids are saying, I want to be like Philo.
Exactly.
Unashuka kwa shule, umeshuka matatu, vumbi imefika hapa, and then you're going to talk, to preach rugby there. Hey. I know.
You must have something. Yeah, so
you
see, so that is my dream and my humble prayer that things will get better. People will start seeing women in sport in a different way, whereby it's not just a men's dominant sport, but women can also do better. And as you've seen with our struggles and our challenges, we've done so well, and we can even do much better with support.
With support.
Yeah.
And Carol, how many people know that we actually have a women's league running? You know, and our women's league games are free of charge. And you get like 20 people.
Fans.
Fans.
It's a bit crazy.
I'm telling you, it's not right.
We were having a conversation before we started the show about the power of social media and using it, trying to grow your brand on social media, so that even because a lot of people will defend themselves and say, we don't even know there's a league. We don't know when you play, we don't know where, we don't know how much it is. So I know rugby tries to be, at least the union's social accounts, the Kenya 7 social accounts tries to be active, but as individual players and TMs, use the power of social media to let people know our games are on, they're here, come and watch us, and send me messages coming in. You have my number.
I will.
Post this for me on your page.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
So we get people watching the women's game. Yes. I have massive respect for you. Our 1 hour is up. I have massive respect for you, man.
Thank you so much.
I get inspired. By the way, last week I had hockey ladies sitting here, then I had basketball ladies, and I just feel inspired at the end of it. But I also feel a little sad that if our government and our federations just took women's sport a little more seriously.
Yeah, sure.
Man, the achievements.
True.
You'd be doing 159. Your version of 159.
Yeah, true.
Guys, thank you so much for honoring this invitation. I've enjoyed this 1 hour.
Thank you, we're humble.
As women, we
Humble.
could talk forever. But thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching Radull Live. Please continue to share this link and let people know, because I pinned the show on the page for the next 1 week, and then it's on the page forever on Radull Live. I'll share the link so you can share it with your friends, so that as many people as possible get to hear what these ladies have to say and get inspired like I do. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Air bump.